Do you ever give any thought to the wise men in the Bible? They're called wise men. I think that we have this myth that they were somehow soothsayers, but they weren't. The Bible doesn't say that. It just says they were wise men. They're depicted in Christmas cards as three kings, but it doesn't say they were kings, because they certainly weren't, and it doesn't say there were three of them. There could have been two, or there could have been four, any number at all, but they were wise men. And it pays to be wise. They were wise in this sense. They saw the star in the east and recognised it as a sign that Messiah had been born. Now, they weren't soothsayers, but they must have known the scriptures, and knowing that God had revealed in the Old Testament that he would send his son, and that his son would die in our place and pay the debt of our sin. So these wise men came to worship him. They didn't come out of curiosity. They recognised him for who he was. They came to worship him. Now, we are told that they came to Herod, and they told Herod what they had seen and what they were looking for. Herod, of course, secretly plotted to kill the child because he thought that the child would be a threat to him. So he sent them on their way and saying, when you found the child, come back to me and tell me where he is so I may worship him too. Of course, he was lying. And it seems to me, looking at the scriptures, that suddenly this star reappears. I might be wrong about that, but why else did they stop and ask Herod where the child was? They'd arrived at the place where they'd been following the star, and now they came to see Herod. And when they departed from Herod, they then followed the star to where the baby lay. They were wise men. Now I want you to question this. Are we wise? They were wise enough to go and worship this child because they knew who he was. Are we wise enough to worship him now? To turn our lives over to him? To turn our lives over to God? To worship him now? To trust in what he's done upon the cross? To trust in his death in our place for our sin? And to turn our lives over to him? There's nothing we can do to save ourselves. We need a Saviour, and that Saviour is Jesus Christ. Is he your Saviour? If he's not, will you turn yourself over to him now? Will you surrender to Jesus Christ now? I hope that you will, because then you also will be a wise man or a wise woman. Ask God for wisdom. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Remember, the Bible teaches us that.